educational system in New Mexico is robbing our children of a successful future, and I'm running for Santa Fe School Board to remove these roadblocks. I am unstoppable with the power that ignites inside of me, the power that comes from us, from you, and from I, that will come together in unity to bring about change in our schools. Here are 3 sobering facts that emphasize the need for change now. First, literacy rate. New Mexico has the state's children being illiterate. Over 30% of our children. We are the lowest literacy rate in all the states. That's sobering. This has real life consequences. In 2/3 of our students who can't read by the 5th grade level, they end up on welfare and in jail. 60% of prison inmates and 85% of youth in the criminal justice system are functionally illiterate. In our schools, this can be solved. There was a gentleman in Kirtland, 2019, that stated, we can, in a short period of time, if we focus on literacy-rich curriculum. Second, safe learning environment. According to the Educators School Safety Network, New Mexico featured the 10th highest number of violent threats and the 10th highest number of violent incidences at public schools. The daily impact is staggering. Our girls, I have a very good friend that has 2 girls in school. They won't go to the bathroom because in the bathroom they are vaping, they're having sex. Guns are brought into the school. Selling drugs is common. Often a student gets busted and guess what? He's right back in the school doing the same thing all over again. First, there must be some kind of hall security policing and perhaps metal detectors. We may have to have these required to end the guns in school. Second, although not a complete solution, literacy can improve the safety. According to Hernandez, there is a direct correlation, a pipeline between literacy and antisocial behavior. Third, new laws suppress or deny parental involvement. SB 397, healthcare access without parental involvement. HB 7, illegal for healthcare or school personnel to notify a parent regarding abortion, gender transition, or contemplating suicide. And SB 13, immunity for people encouraging children to make these life-changing decisions without parents. I have back on this table their cards that detail what these laws are that were passed at our legislative session last year. When elected as school board member, I will strive to create transparency so that parents can play an active role in shaping their child's educational journey. Parents are the best protectors of children and have the natural right and duty for their care, custody, and control of their own children. You, as a parent, have a right to know who and what is influencing your children. Imagine the possibilities if we fix these 3 roadblocks to the successful future of our children and our state. As my mother always said, actions speak a whole lot louder than words, mija. And I invite you to vote for me and join me in this crusade. This turnaround can be done. Our city recently witnessed the power of a community coming together. When our Santa Fe School Board decided they were going to take Fiesta out of our schools. This has been something that has been commemorated for 300 years. Our children look up for that. They're excited. Why? Because they're trying to take our culture from us. We need to wake up, people. This is a cultural tradition that has been in our schools for decades, and after many Santa Feans stood up and voiced their objections to this proposal, guess what? The board voted down 3-2. This is what unity can accomplish. Now, I want to tell you, why me? Why am I the right person for this position? First, my educational background. I attended New Mexico State University. I wanted to be a special ed teacher, but I graduated with a minor in elementary ed and a major in speech communications. This has given me the knowledge to research and recognize the ineffective practices in our schools. Further, I have a huge moral outrage that we are wasting our most important national asset, our children. In my research on literacy chaos, there is clear evidence on why students perform poorly. As Rick Hess and Michael Goldstein write for Educational Week 2022, the truth is that schools have long employed practices with scant empirical grounding. This is the most brutal reality. We still fail to implement the most basic, high-impact, thoroughly proven strategies in our schools that would result in unprecedented improvements in our schools and classrooms. Unbelievable. The research is there, we don't do it. So our kids suffer. Teachers don't have the time to research proven methods. So I will bring the research and proven methods to the school board to work effectively to get these approaches implemented. Second, courage. Life often brings us the unexpected. After college, I married, and I married a spouse that was physically and mentally abusive. I almost lost my life. I found myself a victim of domestic violence. Almost losing my life, I decided I would no longer be a victim. I hopped on a Greyhound bus with my 3 children and came back home to Santa Fe, and it's been such a good journey. I'm courageous and ready to take on the tough work of school improvement because we can no longer allow our children to be abused by substandard literacy. They too can be victorious with our help. That means that the school needs to confront the brutal fact that most dominant school practices today diverge radically from the most amply substantiated methods for lasting school improvement. This means that there is a proper, swift to comprehensive school improvement if we have the courage to change. Grace means that when God calls you to change, He goes alongside of you, supplying what you need for the task at hand. Third, financial management skills. For the last 35 years, I've had a successful career climbing up the ranks as a financial manager for several locations and corporations. Currently, my husband and I own a very successful HVAC business. Every year, we review our revenue, our cost, our expenditures to determine what we need to implement, what we need to change to continue being profitable. This has been the key to our success as a business. I will bring my financial knowledge and experience to the Santa Fe School Board. One of the school board's major responsibility is budget. The board allocates funding in a way that meets the needs and drives improvements. The Santa Fe New Mexican on April 20th, 2023, reported that the Santa Fe Public Schools is bracing for the possibility of a budget shortfall between $9 million and $13 million for this fiscal year, 2024, due in part to low enrollment, payroll, and utilities. I want to know where the money is. This is a significant shortfall, and I look forward to applying my financial acumen to this challenge. Parental involvement. I'm a mother of 5, grandmother of 26, and a great-grandmother of 8. Teaching your kids to love reading is the most valuable inheritance you can give them. I have 36 walking examples of this. There is no substitution for a loving parent spending time with their children, asking them how your day went. We used to talk about that at the dinner table. We encouraged our children to succeed, and we supported them on poor performance. Our kids pay a dear price if we as parents are complacent. The message from most of the school data points is that your kids are doing fine. However, many of our kids aren't. And parents deserve to know that. Fewer than 1 in 3 students can read at a grade level 4. Instead, they just keep passing them on to the next grade instead of sticking with these children and getting them proficient. Several prestigious foundations with a vested interest in an educated workforce found that we won't have better schools until we give parents a complete and accurate picture of their children's achievement. And that is the essential first step to ensuring their academic success. The first step was echoed by our New Mexico Public Education Department in their 2018 Comprehensive Strategic Plan, which was established after the famous Martinez-Yazzie lawsuit. In 2018, Judge Sarah Singleton ruled that the state failed to meet New Mexico students' rights to be college and career ready. 4 years later, there's not been any improvement. Number 51. On page 9 of the New Mexico Public Education Comprehensive Strategic Plan, it is stated, we understand that we can only be successful in achieving the goals of this strategic plan by deeply, consistently, and respectively engaging the families and students whom the education serves. In Santa Fe, families and students have not been considered or respectfully engaged. I can cite 2 recent examples. What just happened with our Santa Fe Fiesta, and also when the Republicans, to protect our children, came out and did the parental consent form. This form, parents or guardians could fill out the form exercising their rights to be fully informed prior to their children's accessing medical and behavioral health services. Medical services include gender-affirming care, psychiatric care, and abortion services. This form also exercises the parents' rights to be informed prior to some instruction or materials such as transgender ideology, gender affirmative care, abortion, or contraceptive. On July 14th, 2023, the New Mexico Public Education Department and the New Mexico Department of Health sent a letter to all 89 public school districts that the parental consent form does not have any legal effect. We cannot let the bureaucracy take our children from us. It's time to stand up. The 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution protects the fundamental rights of parents to direct the care, upbringing, and education of their children. Literacy is the soul of education and is integral to curriculum. As Robert Pandesco said, any discussion about equity in education that is not first and foremost a discussion about literacy is unserious. Giving every student such opportunities to read, write, and discuss is the near opposite of what occurs in our schools today. As the New York Times put it, the one thing corporate America can build is a sentence. The good news is that there is substantial evidence that a literacy-rich curriculum can fix these issues in 1 or 2 academic years, and the scores prove it. There are positive examples in Indiana, Pueblo, Colorado, high poverty parts of Los Angeles, the Bronx in New York, and many other locations. These examples obliterate the myths that marginalized students are simply not smart enough or that poverty is too big a hurdle. I believe in our students, I believe in our teachers, and I believe in our parents. This traumatic turnabout can be done here in Santa Fe. We can do this. I'm asking you to help me lead charge in changing the situation for our children. Please get out and vote. Vote for me on November 7th. Thank you.